All right, so we're saying that solving inequalities is similar to solving regular equations. So let us go. So what we're doing here, we intend to get rid of this positive 6 here first. All right, so we want to leave the subject for last, and my subject is going to be that. We're leaving that for last, all right? So we could say, all right, it's adding 6, so we will be subtracting 6, and we have to balance the equation by subtracting 6 from the other side. Then we rewrite what we have. Okay. Negative 4x, and then this part here becomes a 0. So we leave that out. Yeah, so we have less than 20. At this moment, I realized that I need to find x, but the x is attached to the negative 4, which means we have a negative 4 times x. We're going to have to do the inverse operation. The inverse operation to the negative 4, it's multiplying, so we're going to have to divide by a negative 4. Here's the deal. Because we divide by a negative number, this sign would have to turn. It flips whenever you divide by a negative number. So then, negative 4 into negative 4, that's gone. So x is greater than 4 into that will give me 5, and this is a negative 5. So this is the response. 4 is greater than negative 5. So we work it out the same way, only that when we divide by the negative 4, like right here, the sign flips. So you could look at what the sign was like, and then you could see that it flipped. That's what we're saying. All right, so that's the only little thing there when you are actually doing that. You multiply or divide by a negative number, the sign will actually flip. All right, so here it is. There's another example that we have here. We have negative 3x minus 8 is greater than or equal to 10. All right, procedure remains the same. Firstly, we want to isolate the unknown and whatever is directly attached to it for last. So we're going to start off by getting rid of this negative 8 by adding 8 to the left side. So we're going to balance by adding 8 to the right side. Then we're going to rewrite what we have. So we'll have negative 3x, and this is going to be greater than or equal to 18. The thing is, we are now about to divide by negative 3, which means that the sign is going to flip. So the sign will turn. What do I mean? Look at what it is now. Because we're about to divide by a negative number, it's going to change. So then, as you could see, we're going to divide by negative 3. So the sign flips. Balance the equation by dividing by negative 3. So definitely the negative 3 cancels here, and x is less than or equal to negative 6. So we're looking at negative 7x plus 9 less than or equal to negative 5. All right, again, we are isolating our subject and anything that is directly attached to it for the last. And then definitely what we want to do is we want to get rid of this positive 9. You can get rid of the positive 9 by subtracting 9. And then we balance the equation by subtracting from the other side as well. Then we rewrite what we have. Negative 7x. This part would give us a 0. So then we'll have less than or equal to negative 14. At this moment, I do realize that I'm about to divide by negative 7. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to rewrite this. And because I know I'm going to divide by negative 7, I'm going to turn my side around already. So now I divide by negative 7, I divide by negative 7. You do notice that what we have here, let me write myself good. What we have here is we could see that this was like that, and check how it's set now. So we could see that the sign was actually flipped. All right. So finally, x is greater than or equal to positive 2. What we have now is like a compound inequality, one in which we have 2 segments to it. All right, so we have 3x plus 5 is greater than 26. 3x plus 5 is less than negative 7. So what we could do is that we could split it in 2 pieces of inequalities. For example, we could call this part one thing, where I'll do that. And then I will take this other part and I'm going to do another one. So we could split that. So let us start by writing the first piece. Negative 7 is greater than 3x plus 5. I'm going to highlight that I'm handling this piece right here. So we could go about just working it down, right? So let's go. So normal procedure, I'm going to leave the subject for last. So I'm going to definitely get rid of that positive 5, and we do so by subtracting 5. So I'm going to subtract 5 from the right side. That means I'm going to subtract 5 from the left side. I'm going to rewrite this. So negative 7 minus 5 is minus 12. We write back our symbol here, and then we have a 3x, right? Because these two pieces would cancel. 0 pair becomes 0. Finally, I'll divide both sides by 3. I'll divide the other side by 3. No need to flip my sign. I'm not dividing by a negative number. So my answer is that negative 4 is greater than x, or it could be less than, should say, x is less than negative 4. So that's one of the answer. I am now going to focus on the second piece. I'm going to take 3x plus 5 and let it be greater than 26. So let me draw a line here. So we have 3x plus 5, and this is greater than 26, which means I'm going to solve this ordinarily. I will be subtracting 5 from both sides. Therefore, I have 3x, which is greater than 21. Then now I'll divide both sides by 3. Again, it's a positive number, so I will not need to trouble my sign. So I'll write back the exact sign, and I have 7. Now I want to put these answers together. All right, so I want to put these answers together. So finally, I could put back my answer in a compound state that x is greater than 7, but this same x is less than negative 4. So I could combine the two things, making sure that I do represent properly. Let's take a look. X here is greater than 7, and x here is less than negative 4. So I just put it together as 1. So that's one approach to problems like these. Now what I'm going to do is to solve this going in one shot, right? So I want to solve this in one go. All right, so I'm going to put it beside this so we could have it there as a reference. So I'm going to solve it in one go. So I'm going to rewrite. We have negative 7, we have greater than, we have 3x plus 5, and this is greater than 26. All we have to do here, we could do it in one go. We're going to preserve this. Anything directly attached to the subject for last. I'm going to get rid of that positive 5 by subtracting 5. But because I'm doing it in one go, I'm going to subtract 5 throughout, meaning I'll take away 5 here, I'll take away 5 there, and I'll take away 5 there. Okay. Then I'm going to rewrite this. So negative 7 minus 5 is negative 12. I write back my symbol, and then I'll have 3x in the middle, and then I'll have greater than 21. And then now I realize that I do need to get rid of that 3. How do I get rid of the 3? It is multiplying to the x, so I'm going to divide by 3 throughout. And at the end of the day, negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. I put back my symbol. 3 divided by 3, leaving x, and then you could see we get the 7. Technically, I kind of like this one, simply because I arrive at the answer in no time. So I'm just doing it, going down in 2-3 steps, I'm finished.